You did what you were supposed to do. You worked hard, stayed disciplined. You became someone people can rely on. And from the outside, it worked. There are results, progress, proof. But inside, something feels strangely quiet. Not peace, not relief, just a subtle emptiness you can't explain. A silence where fulfillment was expected. It feels like crossing a finish line and finding nothing, waiting there. No relief, no arrival, only silence where meaning was promised. Imagine walking through a vast desert. The land stretches in every direction. The air is still and unmoving. Heat shimmers in the distance. Even your footsteps feel absorbed by the silence. You are not lost. You have a map. It shows the steps you must follow. It promises security if you stay on course. It leaves little room for wandering. So you keep moving forward. You walk in a straight line. You don't wander. You don't stop. Movement becomes your form of safety. You learn to endure discomfort. You ignore thirst and fatigue. You adjust to the weight of the sun. Endurance becomes your identity. People admire your strength. They praise your discipline and resilience. They rely on your consistency, and you nod because explaining feels impossible. But the desert is still the desert. You became skilled at surviving here. You learned to function without softness. Yet it was never meant to be home. At first, success feels like momentum. Progress feels energizing and clear. The future appears organized and predictable. Then something subtle begins to change. The motion continues, but the feeling shifts. You're no longer chasing a dream. You're trying not to fall behind. You keep moving because stopping feels risky. Rest begins to feel undeserved. Stillness feels unfamiliar, and something essential starts to go missing. Achievement replaces something deeper, rest that arrives without being earned, connection that doesn't serve a purpose, a life that feels like it belongs to you. At first, goals keep you moving. Deadlines give shape to your days. Momentum keeps discomfort at a distance. But eventually, the body begins to speak. I'm tired, it says quietly, not always in words, but in a jaw that won't unclench, in sleep that never feels complete. And then the questions appear. Why does nothing feel satisfying anymore? Why do good things feel muted? Why does stopping feel unsafe? This is not a failure of discipline. It's what happens when effort continues after meaning has already started to fade. When survival becomes routine, feeling can grow quiet. Efficiency replaces sensitivity. Softness starts to feel impractical. You stay composed. You handle what needs handling. You become good at being fine. And slowly, you become disconnected. You can still achieve and perform, but joy feels distant, like a language you used to speak. You can no longer taste what you achieve. Many high-functioning adults are grieving not a person they lost, but a self they left behind, a self that once felt more alive. Imagine seeing green in the distance, a small patch of shade, perhaps the suggestion of water, something your body recognizes immediately. Your chest softens without effort. Your breath deepens slightly. Your pace begins to slow. Relief arrives before hope does. Not an achievement, not a reward, but a return to something essential. A moment where nothing needs proving. This doesn't require changing everything. It starts with noticing what nourishes you and taking it seriously. Notice what drains you in ways sleep can't fix. Notice what restores you without effort. Notice where your breath deepens naturally. You may not be at the end of the road. You may be standing at a quiet threshold. Something within you is ready to return. Take a slow breath. Allow the moment to be enough. Ask yourself what you need right now. Let the question stay open. If this moment spoke to something within you, you are not alone. There is space here to feel and to rest. There is space here to breathe. If quiet clarity gives you space to breathe, you're welcome to stay. You can support this work by liking, subscribing, or sharing it with someone who might need this moment.